It says I'm live. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody wonderful? Everybody fantastic? Oh, it has been a crazy week. So, we had the rope class last weekend. Fantastic class. Lots of really great people. We had a blast. We had so much fun in the rope class. Such a good time. So much fun that I'm going back to Tampa again this weekend. They are going to be having the Sexplosion. Eyes Wide Shut is sponsoring a big thing called the Sexplosion. They're going to be having uh oh. YouTube's having technical difficulties. Let's get them up and running. Okay. So they're going to be having the Sexplosion at Eyes Wide Shut. They're going to be having live BDSM shows. There will be a live rope show. That will be a cage suspension. I'm looking forward to doing a cage suspension. The last time I did a cage suspension was the last time I was there a few months ago. And it was a blast, and I had a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing it again. A cage suspension is a lot like a luggage cart suspension, and they are always a lot of fun, and I enjoy them. So I will enjoy this one too. So we're going to be doing a cage suspension. There will be an impact show. There's going to be a wax show, and he is doing artistic wax, and he is very good at artistic wax and what he'll be doing in the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. For that, I'll be a spectator. I'm anxious to sit in the crowd and see what he has to do in that show. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. There's going to be a live sex show for you degenerates that like to watch people fuck. There will be fucking. You'll be able to feed your eyes for the voyeurs out there, which I'm one of those people. I'll probably be watching the sex show myself. I am definitely a voyeur. I like to watch. I like to peeping Tom out the side of my eye in the back of the room. It's so juicy, especially when it is juicy, especially if they're squirters. Oh, yeah. Okay, so live shows. Cage suspension with rope, wax, artistic wax rendering, impact show, sex show. Tampa gonna be lit this weekend, y'all. Tampa gonna be off the heezy for sheezy. They trying to make movies in there, and I'm just trying to go and have fun, enjoy myself, have a good time, which I will be. I will be there Friday night for the prep and get ready. And then I will be there Saturday for the big show, the big show. I am definitely looking forward to it. That's this weekend in Tampa, Eyes Wide Shut, EYZWideshut.com. Tickets. Tickets are available. I don't know all of the details for pricing. The actual show is Saturday. I will be at the club on Friday if you want to come out, ask questions, or see how I'm doing something or what's being done. Oh, hey, baby bear. And hey, sweet cat XO. So, it's going to be a good weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be some things. Unfortunately, I can't take Baby Bear with me. This is for Baby Bear. The big heart. Let's see if we can get the... Why Instagram not giving me the heart? Y'all know I'm not a millennial. I can't do all this craziness. Whatever. So that's for Baby Bear. Unfortunately, she's not going to be with me in Tampa, but oh well. I will have someone with me to be the bottom for the rope to do the thing with the people at the place. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot going on, a lot happening, a lot of things to enjoy, and a lot of fun to be had. So come on out to Tampa. It's going to be a movie. I have posted the flyer to my IG and to my X. The event is on FetLife. So come on out. Be a part. Do the things. Do the things. Outside of that, we have a party coming up February 21st. I will be teaching love languages as well as having a station open for sensual massage, rope, and impact. That's going to be another just crazy weekend with all kinds of debauchery happening that you can get into if you'd like. So February 21st, this weekend, other things on the horizon, those are the only two that are coming to mind right now. But yeah, so it should be good. I can't wait. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be nice. It's going to be tons of fun. It's going to be interesting. So today we have a Q&A show. I had some questions come in, and one of them was delectable. One of the questions that was asked is something that I specialize in, and I can talk about it for hours. I am so glad they asked the question. Baby Bear will tell you, once I get going, you just got to tune me out because I talk a lot. She'll tell you in a minute. I'm a talker. So I have a ton of information on this particular subject, so I'm glad they asked this question. We're going to do that question last. We got a couple other questions that were asked that we'll do in the front, but let's get started. Now, for those of you that are on IG, if you have a question, go ahead, send it in. If you have a comment, go ahead and send it in. I'm going to keep an eye up the comment section over there, so feel free to hit me up. Unfortunately, my StreamYarders, I don't know how to get your questions, comments. I don't even know how to get y'all to log in. The tech team ain't here. So you got to IG it. If you want to get on, you got to just IG me. Okay? IG me. Okay, so question number 1. I was asked about my polyamorous status. My polyamorous status is always been the same thing. I am what's called kitchen table policy or kitchen table poly. And all that means is that everything that I do, no matter what partner I'm with, everyone knows about it, everyone's aware. It's a polyamorous style that is dependent upon transparency, and it is what it is. It's very organic, it's very natural. I don't force relationships. If my partners vibe with each other and they want to do something, that great, wonderful, spectacular. If they don't vibe and they don't want to do nothing, that's fine too. The only thing that I require is that they are cordial and respectful of each other and they treat each other like human beings. Outside of that, everything else is, I'm going to let it be what it is. I'm going to let it grow into what it's going to be, and I'm going to let it be natural and organic, and I keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. But yeah, that's me. Now, when it comes to my polyamory, I tend to not go over 2 partners at a time. Every now and then I might have a third partner depending on circumstances and situations. But if they are full-blown relationships, if they are dynamics, I will not do more than 2 dynamics at a time unless it's 2 dynamics and a play partner. A play partner to me is not a serious dynamic. That's something that's based in play. And when I say play partner, I mean kinky play. Rope, impact, fire, electricity, mindfuck, CNC, rough play, light play, whatever it is, it's going to be based in play. And it's not going to be like a full-on committed relationship. If one of them is that, then that will be my third relationship, and I'll have 2 primary or primary and secondary relationship. I don't go over that number. The reason for that is I work. I have an income. I got to be able to take care of my people, so I have to work in order to make money. So I have a 9 to 5, and then as a pro dom, all of the events that I do, all of the pro dom work that I do, the scenes, the private scenes, the public scenes, the demos, the presentations, the class, all of that stuff all takes time. For me, I have a requirement of my submissives to be involved in my work as a pro dom. So if I'm doing an event, if I'm doing a scene, if I'm doing something, I will ask the person in a private scene, are you okay with my submissive being present? And they'll say yes or no. If they say no, they're paying for that scene, so it is what it is. But if they say yes, my submissive will be with me to help set up, to help clean up, to facilitate things like pictures, to facilitate things like aftercare, if that's a possibility. But they are a part of the work that I do. The people that have met me at Splash, you met me with Baby Bear at Splash, because when I'm doing a big event, a hotel takeover like that, she is there to help me. As my submissive, that's part of her role, part of her duty, and that's something that was negotiated way back in the beginning when we started, because for me, that's a service that I require of my submissive. So they know that going in. But for my poly situation, I will have two partners, possibly a third. That's it. I am not someone who is polyamorous just to have as many relationships as I can have or be with as many people as I can be with. For me, poly is about relationships, bonds, connections. And if you are not establishing real relationships, real bonds, real connections, then what's the point? You know, I've known people who were polyamorous that had 16 relationships. And they have 16 relationships because they're long distance. They talk to each one of these people once a month. They interact with these people once every 2 or 3 months on vacation. But they're not genuine, real, committed relationships that they're putting a lot of time, energy, effort into so that they can spread themselves across 16 different people. Polyamory is not about threesomes and group sex and shit like that. Okay, if that's what you're interested in, stick to swinging. It's so much easier to be a swinger if your primary concern, your primary interest is just sex. Stick to swinging, because polyamory puts the focus on the relationship, the bond, the connection, emotional support, mental support, financial support. Having two girlfriends means supporting two people emotionally, mentally, and financially. And if you're not in a space where you can do that, all you're going to do is open yourself up to problems. If you're not a good communicator, you're going to learn to be. If you are someone who has, we'll say, toxic traits, you're going to learn how to work through them. If you are someone who does not prioritize other people's love languages, this ain't for you. This ain't going to work. You have to be able to multitask. You have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to remove your ego from your decisions and from the way you run your relationship, because it ain't about you. It's about the relationship. It's about the dynamic. It's about what you're building with that person. And what you're building with that person is just as much about them as it is about you. So, again, if you're not a good communicator, if you have toxic traits, if you don't know how to multitask, polyamory is not for you. Just be a swinger and just fuck a ton of people and have fun with that. But for me, it is not about sex. It's about the bond, the connection, and the relationships that I build with people. I am very, very dynamic when it comes to my BDSM. I am what's known as a sensual sadist, and it is very, very hard to fit that mold and find someone that's compatible for all of the things that I like to do. Baby Bear will tell you, she does not like me going heavy. She is not into pain. She does not like heavy, painful play. And that is perfectly okay. And I still love her. I still will spend the rest of my life with her. She is still my future. But I want to be able to hurt somebody. I'm a sadist. I enjoy putting some shit down on a bitch. Like I wanna get in there and just that's fun for me. But I don't want to do that with just anybody. I am not interested in giving my energy to people who are not invested in me as a person or in me. They don't care about me and who I am. So for me, I want a partner who I can go heavy with and who I can express myself as a sadist with and who I can have sadistic play with. That's something that I want. I don't want to have to be in a situation where I can never do that because I have a partner that doesn't like that. I want to be able to have what I have with Baby Bear, and I want to be able to have what I have with someone else who is into those things and who does like those things and who does want those things, because I don't want to do it with a stranger. I don't want to do it with someone that doesn't care about me and not just Sentinel Bear, but me. That's important to me. I need to like you to really enjoy hurting you. And I need to know in my head that once I break you into pieces, that I'm going to be able to love you back together again. That's important. And that's very special and that's very intimate for me. And I can't share that with a stranger. I can't share that with somebody who's paying for a scene. I can't share that with somebody I meet at a party or someone I meet at an event. And even though there are people I meet at events that I do play heavy with and I will fuck them up, it is still a certain amount of disconnection that happens in those scenes where I'm fucking them up, but the really serious, intimate aftercare is not there. The really serious time that goes into having a really good scene is not there. And then when you get into more advanced play, like CNC and interrogation play and knife play and sadistic rope and stuff like that, you want to be able to really like lose yourself in that kind of play. And you can't just lose yourself with a new person. You have to have somebody that you know you can trust and that you know what their limits and what their boundaries are, and you've played with them 1,000 times, so you can read their body language and you know them like the back of your hand. All that stuff's important. But anyway, that answers that question. Okay, next question. So the next question that came in was, how do people in the BDSM world deal with situations that are sexually based? And I know this question came from a kinkster because you have to be a kinkster to understand what they're asking. Most kinky spaces, dungeons, BDSM spaces that are devoted to BDSM and BDSM play, most of those spaces are non-sexual spaces. Yes, I know. For all of the swingers out there, I know. Just relax. Just stay with me. There's a reason. I get it. I know. See, as someone who used to be a swinger, it was very hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that I could go into a dungeon and I could beat the shit out of somebody for a half an hour, but I could not have sex with them. That was very mind fucky to me. But because of the way the laws are in Florida, you cannot do certain things in certain places. One of the reasons why most sex clubs, swing clubs, trapeze, Miami Velvet, the new Miami Velvet North, I can't think of the name of it. All of those places are BYOB. The reason for that is because you cannot get a liquor license as a club that has sex. It's a Florida law. You cannot sell alcohol in a sex club. So the way around it is they tell you, bring your own alcohol. We're not going to sell it. We're going to give you the chasers to go with it. You can tip the bartenders, but there is no alcohol for sale. You have to bring your own. And that's how they get around that. But similarly to that, clubs that have BDSM are not supposed to have sex in certain areas in Florida. Miami, Fort Lauderdale happen to be those areas. So you can't have a BDSM kink club that has BDSM that also has sex. So the BDSM clubs and dungeons tend to be non-sexual. Yes, I know. I know. I know. I know. But that's the rule. So the way that you kind of get around that is house parties. In the BDSM culture, there's something called munches, and munches are basically just get-togethers where kinky people go to meet other kinky people. Now, at these munches, normally nothing happens. They're normally at a public place, a restaurant, a gathering hall. I've seen a munch takes place at one of those dance halls where they have like receptions and stuff. There's a munch in West Palm Beach that takes place in a community center. There are a bunch of munches in Miami that take place in restaurants. There's a munch that has been happening for like the last 12 years straight that takes place at a Denny's in Fort Lauderdale. This Denny's has a back room, and once a month, the back room is dedicated to the kinky BDSM people, and they have a munch in the Denny's. And no one outside of the people in that back room have any idea what the fuck's going on back there, what kind of shit that they talking about. And this munch is so popular that they have classes, they have discussions, they do presentations. And it has been going on for at least 12 years, probably more than that, because it's been there for as long as I can remember, and it's been going strong. And that back room once a month is packed full of kinky people, sometimes standing room only. And that munch is one of the most popular munches in South Florida. So, again, public places, no play. They normally have very strict rules when it comes to even dress code, is vanilla dress code, because you are around vanilla people. You're at a community center, a restaurant, there might be kids present, there might be police officers present. So you can't go in there in lingerie with a titty out. You can't be in there acting any kind of way. It is vanilla in, vanilla out. You are part of respectable society. Be respectable. And then at those munches, that's where you meet up with other kinky people, and they normally, after the munch is done or during the munch, they'll have a breakaway part where people just kind of talk to each other. And that's where they start to talk about who's having what party when, where it's going to be at, how do you get invited, the vetting process, things like that. But you have to kind of be plugged in the community to know where those things are and how those things happen. But at most of those parties, there will be sex positive places. So even though the backyard is for kinky play only, they'll have bedrooms that allow sex, or they'll have side rooms that allow sex, or they'll say sex is available in the pool or on the patio or in the gazebo or inside the house, but outside the house in the yard, only kinky play. Whatever the rules are, the rules are. You find that out when you get there, but those places are normally sex positive, and that's where you get to mix your kink and your sex. So just be aware that when you go visit these dungeons, sex is not allowed. I don't know how long you've been watching the show, but if any of you heard the last story time, don't make the same mistake that I did. Don't get kicked out the dungeon because you in there fucking, and then be an asshole about it. Don't do what I did. Okay, it's not okay. It's not okay. I had to give that man a gift card, and I had to go with my damn ego in my hand, being humble and apologizing for my bad behavior because I was an asshole and felt guilty as hell because he was the nicest man you ever want to meet, and I was a straight ass. Don't do what I did. Be better than me. Okay? So that's how we kind of get across that. Okay? Okay, wonderful. So the next question we got was, is there any place available where you can go to get a list of the parties in your area? Unfortunately, the answer is no. There is no database of swinger parties that's going to be all inclusive of everything. There is no database of BDSM parties that's going to be all inclusive of everything. You have a couple places: SDC, Swingers Date Club, AFF, Adult Friend Finder, SLS, Swingers Lifestyle. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a swinger anymore, so I don't know. SDC.com, AFF.com, SLS.com. They're all websites, and on those websites, they have an event page, and the people on the website will normally post their events to the event page. So you can get somewhat of a list of all of the swinger parties in your area by visiting those websites, but no website is going to guarantee to have everything. And then that list is not a publicly condoned safe list. Anyone on the website can post something to that list. So, like, you see John's Hotel Gangbang, and John just decided, I'm gonna get a hotel room, I'm gonna post a gangbang, and hopefully enough people will show up for us to have a gangbang. So when you get there, it's 35 dudes, no chick, and you standing there wondering, well, how is this a gangbang? And he's like, oh, well, no girl showed up, so oh well. That is something that can and has happened. So when you're going through that list to see what events are out there, you have to use a certain amount of common sense and discernment and read through those descriptions and read through how they're set up to kind of differentiate what is going to be legit and what's going to be bullshit. Okay? Now, as someone who used to be a swinger, if you are new to the swinging lifestyle, legit parties tend to be the ones that have a donation requirement, take place at a reputable establishment, and require some kind of vetting. If you're looking at an event that has those three things, most of the time that's going to be a legit, good event for you to go to. Okay? Now, the problem with that becomes vetting. If you're brand new to the lifestyle, it's hard for you to get vetted. You got to put yourself out there. You got to meet people. You got to talk to people, even if it's just jumping in their DMs or having a conversation with them in a chat room on the website or trying to have some level of interaction with them. You got to put yourself out there. You got to do it. You got to do it. If you have no game in the real world, if you can't talk to women in the real world, if you can't interact with people like someone who has social skills in the real world, coming here is not going to change that. If you need to work on you, you need to work on you. Saying I'm a swinger does not now make you a ladies' man. You got to work on you when you come over here to do your thing. It is what it is. Now, for my BDSMers, normally FetLife has a pretty good compilation of everything that's happening in your area, whether it's the munches, the parties, or the events. Just like swinging, any person on FetLife can post an event. Just because something is posted does not make it a guaranteed, legitimate, and safe event for you to just go to. Now, this is something that you have to keep in mind, especially my single ladies. BDSM is a lifestyle of people that are already on the fringes of society, already alternate people, and already people that have, we'll say, special delights. Okay? As a sadist, there is a very fine line between someone who is a safe, playing, consensual, requiring sadist and a fucking crazy person that just wants to hurt people and doesn't give a shit. So, that being said, you need to make sure you do exactly what Etched in Gold just put up in the IG group. Make sure that you verify the information that you see on FetLife. If you go to an event, there is an RSVP list on that event. Don't be scared to pull up the RSVP list. There is also the name of the host of the event. Don't be scared to DM the host. If you see an event that looks like something you want to do, looks like something you want to go to, pull up the RSVP list. If you notice there's somebody on the RSVP list that is also on your friends list, send them a message. Hey, you ever been to this event before? You ever been to this party? You know the person that's throwing it? What do you think? When you went before, how was it? What was your experience like? Don't just take it at face value. Put a little work in. If you see an event that you like and you don't know anyone on the RSVP list, DM the host. Hey, I saw you have an event on this day at this time. Can you give me a description on what this event is like? If they are creepy in the DMs, they're going to be creepy at the event. If they're mean in the DM and they don't want to give you any information, they're going to be mean at the event. If they give you a bad feeling or a bad vibe or something seems off in the interaction that you have with them through the DM, then that's going to be amplified in person. Everybody get where I'm going with this, right? So, single ladies, take a buddy. If you don't have a buddy, don't fucking go. Don't be so excited and so intent on doing something that the common sense that you have that keeps you safe leaves your brain and you make bad choices. I guarantee you, I give you a 100% ironclad guarantee that if you don't make this event, there will be another one. Probably the very next weekend. That is very similar. So it's okay to miss something. God gave you intuition for a reason. Okay? Listen to your intuition. If there's something that rubs you the wrong way, something don't feel right, something don't look right, don't fucking go. Don't be so excited to get into this shit that you put yourself in danger. Take a buddy. That's the biggest piece of advice that I can give you. I tell people all the time, and these are people that will call me and they want to have a scene, and we are negotiating the scene. And I will tell them, okay, we're going to meet in a public place. And I've had people say, oh, well, can you come pick me up? Fuck no. I don't know you. I come to your house to pick you up. And if for some reason you make some excuse for me to get inside and your boyfriend in there, he beat me over the back of the head and robbed me, hell no. But as a single woman, you shouldn't want some stranger to know your address. So the reason that I tell people meet in a public place, drive separately, get to the public place that you both are aware of but don't know each other's original address or where you came from, that is a certain level of safety. A motherfucker can't follow you home if you don't know where home is. Okay? Do not have people pick you up from your house that you don't know. That is a very simple, very basic rule, but you'll be amazed how many people do not follow it. Okay? I tell people all the time, vetting. So important is vetting. What vetting is, in the BDSM community, there is a standard practice of, if I'm going to play with you, if I'm going to do something with you, I'm going to talk to someone who's done it with you before and just get their opinion. Is this person safe? Is this person cool? Is this person okay? You ask somebody you trust something about the person that you're going to play with if they know him. If you going to see a movie at the movie theater and you have a friend that you know already saw the movie, you ask them, hey, what'd you think of the movie? This ain't no different. If you're going to do that for a movie, do that for a motherfucker you're going to let tie you up and beat you with shit. Like, it's really not a hard concept. Okay? Vetting is super important. I tell girls all the time, have a safety check-in person. Have a time period, an hour into the date, 2 hours into the date, 3 hours into the date, whatever it is, where this person is going to call you and you have a plan. When you call me, if I say pineapple, that means I'm not safe. Get the location, because I'm going to share my location with you before I go out on this date with this person. If you say, when you call me, if I say pineapple, get my location and come get my ass. If everything's okay, I'll tell you everything's okay and we're good. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But if I use the code word, motherfucker, come get me. That means I need help. Come get me. A safety check, don't hurt nobody. Have somebody safety check you. It is what it is. It ain't nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Baby Bear has a couple people that she's been interested in hooking up with and to have some play dates and have fun and enjoy herself. And it's the rule that I have with her. When she's meeting someone new, she already knows. We had the conversation. You want to hook up with them, that's fine. You're going to meet them in a public place. You're going to show up separately. And if they have some situation where they are creating something where you have to go off and be with them alone, you decide, hey, I like this person, I want to hang out with this person, I want to do something with this person, I'm going to go be with them alone, then you need to send me a copy of their driver's license. Yep. Oh, yeah. And for those of you that are asking the question, that's crazy. Motherfucker ain't going to send you a copy of their driver's license. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. She ain't going with you if you don't. I'm going to let you play with my most precious toy and you have a problem because I want to see your driver's license? That's a you problem. That ain't a me problem. If you have a problem with that, then you will not be playing with my most precious toy. It's a very simple concept. Oh, well, what if they don't want to send you their license? Okay, no problem. I had somebody tell me once, ain't no man gonna send you their license just so that they could date your girl. Okay, well then they won't date my girl. But if you want to date my girl, then yeah, you got to do that. And for those of you that are wondering, yes, I have sent a copy of my driver's license to two different people's husbands because I was going on a date with their wife where we were going to be alone in a hotel room back in the day and we were going to be co-ed naked wrestling and they wanted to know who their wife was going to be with. And they asked me to send a copy of their driver's license and I said, okay, and I sent it. Because as someone who is polyamorous, I understand that point of view from a husband with his wife. I understand their desire for safety. I understand the desire to have that level of security, knowing that the person you're going to be with is someone that is safe enough and so unbothered and so unworried about there being something they need to hide that they have no problem sending me a picture of their license. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? Now, the last question before the really good one was very similar to this one. And the last question was, how do you approach a woman that is part of a couple at a party or an event? To be honest, speaking from my own point of view as the husband, the boyfriend, the dominant with a person that has been approached and as the person who has done the approaching, the most successful thing that I have done when it comes to approaching a couple is to talk to the man first. And it might sound crazy, it might sound counterintuitive. I don't give a shit what it sounds like. When I was a swinger, even now as someone who is into BDSM, the most successful interactions that I've had playing with a girlfriend, a wife, a submissive of a dominant, a slave of a master, when I want to play with someone who is part of a couple, the most successful process that I have had experiences with is to approach the dominant, the boyfriend, the husband, the master, the top, whatever you want to call it. I approach the other person when they are both together. That is very important, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. As someone who goes to swinger parties, BDSM clubs, and goes with a partner, we see you guys out there. We see you single dudes out there, and we know there are two types of single guys at a swingers club, swingers party, swingers event. Number one, there is the lion. Number two, there is the vulture, the hyena. Okay? Vultures and hyenas are fucking cowards. Most women are turned off by cowards. And most men do not want their women dealing with fucking cowards. Now, the reason I say that is this. There have been multiple times and multiple nights where I have been in a club with my girl, a swingers club. We might be looking to play with a single guy. We are there looking for a single guy. We've walked around the club all night. We've talked to a bunch of people. We have put ourselves out there and made it known. This man has been watching us. I, out of the corner of my eye, have probably seen him at some point watching us. And he will literally wait for me to go to the bathroom or to go talk to a friend. He will wait for me to separate from my partner. And as soon as we are apart, he will then approach my partner. And he will ask stupid ass questions like, "Are you here with anyone? Did you come alone? Are you looking to play?" Just stupid ass questions. You know she here with somebody. You done seen us walking around all night long. You know we here to play. It's a swingers party. That's why people come here, either to play or to watch. So there's some level of interaction that we're looking for. And the fact that you were too much of a coward to step to us when I was there and you could have stepped to me man to man and told me what's up, that has now turned us off to you as a potential playmate. And that is real. And we feel like because you couldn't step to me when I was with my girl and you couldn't have that conversation with us together, or you couldn't step to me, you're a fucking coward and we're not interested. Because cowards do things like try to break up the couple, try to break up the relationship, try to pull the girl away from the guy, try to say shit to get in her head, try to get her number on the sly. Shit that's just not okay. If you already acting like a coward to begin with, I don't want to deal with that shit in the long run. So I'm going to just shoot you the deuces and keep it moving. As the guy that's doing the approaching and as the person that's there, I have more respect for a man that comes up to me and is like, "Hey, how y'all doing? You know, I saw you guys walking around the club. I think your girl's really attractive. You know, I'm just interested to know, are you guys looking to play tonight? You know, how do you swap? What are you interested in? What are you looking for? You know, would you like to dance?" Or pretty much anything can be said at that point that we would be more open to, simply because you had the respect to come to us as a couple, approach us as a couple, or approach me as the person who is most likely the dominant or the leader in this relationship for the most part, based on the way things are outwardly appearing for the most part, not always, but for the most part. But that level of respect to begin with starts you off at a good place. So at that point, even if you say the wrong thing, even if you fuck up, even if you say some shit that is the wrong shit to say, we can laugh it off. We can enjoy a joke here and there. We can recover from that shit. And you still have a better chance of actually getting somewhere than if you had just done that behind the back, vulture, hyena, cowardly, opportunistic scavenger type of shit. Okay? So be bold, be a lion. Step to them when they're a couple. Let them know your intentions. You got to remember, this is a swingers party, swingers club, swingers event. Couples come here to fuck other people. So no, you're not being disrespectful asking them if they fuck other people. You're not being disrespectful asking them if they're interested in playing with a single guy. You're not being disrespectful asking them if they're interested in having some fun or swapping or asking her to dance or asking him if it's all right to take her on the dance floor. None of that is a problem in this atmosphere and in this situation. It is expected. So be bold. Do that shit. Okay? Be respectful. Approach them like human beings. Even if she is a slut, she's not your slut. Don't treat her like a slut. You might be able to work up to that. But the initial meeting is not the time. Relax that shit down. Approach them like they're human beings. Show some respect. Have a conversation and work it. Just let it develop. Let it be natural and organic. Don't force it. Okay? Be a fucking nice guy. If they want you to be a not nice guy, they'll tell you. And you can have a lot of fun being a not so nice guy later on. But start off with as a nice guy. See how that goes. Okay? Wonderful. Spectacular. Now the last question. My favorite. Someone sent a question asking, how do you deal with a brat? I am a brat tamer. I have gone to classes. I have gotten certifications. I have taught classes. I am very, very knowledgeable when it comes to dealing with brats. So if you have a brat, you want to get your notepad and a pen and you want to take notes. You want to pay special attention. I'm going to give you the secret to brats, okay? This is Brat. All about Brat, everything you wanted to know about Brat. I'll probably end up doing a show especially about brats at some point, okay? Now, couple things, because at this point we're running out of time. I got to make it quick. Now, bratting is a kink. Bratting can be done by anyone in any position because bratting is a kink. What that means is bottoms can be brats, tops can be brats. You can have a bratty dominant, a bratty submissive, a bratty master, a bratty slave, a bratty top, a bratty bottom. Because bratting is a kink, anyone can be involved and have that kink and enjoy being in that kink. So don't think of bratting as only this person is a brat, can be a brat, or is going to brat. Bratting is something that any person can do on any level, top or bottom. Okay? Bratting is also something that people normally turn on and off. Okay? Most of the time, if you have a brat, your brat is not going to be bratting 24/7, 365. She's going to be something else that likes to brat. She is a little and she likes to brat. She's a service submissive and she likes to brat. She's a baby girl and she likes to brat. She's a princess and she likes to brat. Same thing for a top. Dominants might like to brat. Masters might like to brat. He's a daddy and he brats. She's a mommy and she brats. Bratting is a kink that everyone can experience. Now, the secret to bratting is this. And I'm going to go after I say this, so y'all got to pay real close attention. Brats want the smoke. If you have a brat, your brat wants the smoke. The brat wants the power struggle, the conflict, the back and forth. The brat wants the smoke. They want the smoke, but they don't want to win. If your brat wins, they will lose respect for you. Because the brat wants the challenge, but the only reason they want the challenge is because they want to lose and they want to be put in their place. Because for them, that's attention. Most of the time, the most popular reason that people brat is because they want attention. Because a lot like children, brats understand the concept that even negative attention is better than no attention at all. That is why children brat. Most of the time, a child will start getting bratty because they want attention. If you don't pay any attention to your kids learn very quickly that even getting punished is better than being ignored. Negative attention is better than no attention at all. It is a very true concept. So, your brats normally will brat because they want attention. Now, anytime we talk about a generalization, there are always exceptions to the rule. I guarantee you that there will be brats out there that will brat simply to brat. I want the smoke. I want the challenge. I want the fight. I want the conflict. I want the chaos. I want the smoke because that is a very bratty idea. I want the smoke. As I said before, they don't want to win. They can't win. When brats start to win, they start to lose respect. So if you have a brat that is constantly winning the conflict or winning the fight, they will slowly lose respect for you over time. And it will get to a point where, given enough times winning, they will have no respect for you at all and they will walk all over you. So when your partner is bratting, you have to learn how to stand up to the brat. Now, this is where common sense and understanding come into play. You have to know your partner. If your partner enjoys bratting and you shut it down immediately, you are creating a situation where you are not allowing them to basically be themselves and have fun because they want to enjoy the process. So if you know your partner is someone who brats for attention and you know that you have not given them attention, part of a treat for them is going to be to let them brat and have that back and forth and have a space where you can have the conflict with them because they enjoy the conflict. You always want to make sure they are losing, but they enjoy the conflict. For most brats, they want to live in conflict. Daddy showed me I was wrong and he put me in my place. Punishment, aftercare, bedtime. In that order. Conflict. I lost and got put in my place. Punishment, aftercare, bedtime. Now, if you think your partner is a brat, I want you to try some of the things that I said. And please send me a message on IG or X and let me know how it works out for you. Because this is Brat Code 101 unencrypted. Okay? Now, for those of you that have made it to level 2, bratting level 2 is this: conflict, lost, meaning your brat lost the conflict, put in my place, they have been put in their place. After they lose the conflict, you are going to put them in their place, whatever that is, as a submissive, as a baby girl, as a little, whatever it is. Punishment. That's a big finger right there. Punishment is what your brat pretends to hate but secretly loves. Baby Bear will tell me in a minute, I've been a bad girl, you should spank me. That is a punishment. Because I know good and well she would love to get a spanking. She would thoroughly enjoy a spanking. So when she decides to do some bratting and then says, you should spank me, I've been bad, that is a punishment, not a punishment. Punishment is the timeout chair. And as Baby Bear will tell you, any chair can be the timeout chair. But punishment is a spanking. Punishment is something that creates a situation in which we are interacting. There is a small amount of pain, but there is some pain, not a lot, just a little bit. And I am giving her my focused, undivided attention. Anything that fits that category, she considers to be punishment. And she is down for the shits. You could, as long as it hits those requirements, you could put anything in its place and she's down for the shits. She's down for the shits. Okay? So it is very important that if your partner is a brat, you figure out what their idea of punishment is and you begin to use those things as a reward. Okay? You're going to let your brat know you were a bad girl. You shouldn't have challenged me like that. Now that I put you in your place, it's time for you to fill in the blank. Fill in the blank for me with Baby Bear would be, it's time for you to get a spanking, little girl. And at that point, you're going to see a huge smile come across her face. She's going to start jumping up and down, and then she is going to lay herself across my lap with her ass up in the air, and she's going to say something like, yes, I've been bad. Because punishment is not really something bad. It is a role play. We pretend and we act like it's something bad, but it's a role play. They enjoy it, you enjoy it, and it's a way that you can interact with each other. And honestly, it's a way that your person can say, hey, I want some attention, without having to feel like they had to put their hat in hand, humble themselves, come to you and say, excuse me, but I would like some attention from you. It's just a much more fun way of doing that. Personally, I would rather that you humble yourself and just be straight up with me. But again, it don't have to happen my way. And it's not always going to happen my way. So sometimes there will be bratting, and that will start the role play, and the punishment will come in. And that is part of that bond and connection that we have. After the punishment, we get to aftercare. And like clockwork, as soon as aftercare is done, nap time. Does not matter what time of day it is, does not matter what else is going on. She gonna go to sleep. There have been times where we have been at hotel takeovers in the dungeon, and she will come to me and she will say, Daddy, can we do rope? It's not even an hour in, and I know good and well, as soon as I get the rope off her, she's going to nap time. So if I say yes, that means I'm going to be in this dungeon by myself with no help, because you're going to go take a nap. So most of the time I'll say no, we'll do it later in the evening, and wait until the dungeon's about to close, then do rope so she can go to sleep. Because I already know if we do it at the beginning of the night, that's a wrap. She done. I'm on my own. She out. It is what it is. You got to know your person. Once you know your people, do what you got to do to manage it. But I love a brat, because brats are so much fun to tame. They're so much fun to just break them and put them where they need to be and create a situation where when your brat knows that you are the person that's going to put them in their place, that is a special kind of love that comes from them to you. You get a special place in their heart, because most brats will tell you I can't fuck with a dude that can't stand up to me. If your partner, when you met, when you were dating, when you were getting to know them, if they made statements like that, most dudes can't handle me. I can't really deal with somebody that can't stand up to me. I always get everything I want. Nobody ever tells me no. A lot of those are indicators that she wants somebody that's going to stand up to her. And the fact that she's telling you, most of the dudes I deal with, they just don't do these things. Understand what she's saying. I deal with a lot of people. Most of them don't do this. That's why I'm not with any of them. She's giving you the secrets to what you need to do to make it work. You just have to listen and apply. So when you're on the date and she says, most of the dudes I mess with, they not really on my level. They don't, I don't, everybody always give me everything I want. I can't really fuck with these dudes out here. They don't, nobody ever tells me no, nobody. Those are all of the people she's not with. Do something different for her to stick around. So that's it. That's the bratting super secret. That's the bratting technology and the bratting encryption that has been decrypted. Please put it to work. Let me know how it works for you. Yes, etched in gold. I see your clapping hands. I already know you're a brat. A big giant one. Yes, baby bear. I know you love to be spanked. Yes, I know. So, decrypt the brat in your life. Enjoy. Yes, you'll thank me later.